Alright, so we are back in here. The last time we were looking at the administrative part, that's creating users and computers and all of that. Now we want to look at something a bit more, Splunkish, something you want to use more now. So, first off, let's follow exactly what I'm doing, and this is probably what you would want to be doing in the organization. You need to get used to all of these um, options in here. This is the knowledge for search, reports, and alerts. And we also have the data models, the event types, and all of that. The tags, lookups, and everything. Remember when in the video I posted um, previously on TikTok, I think it's also on YouTube now, where I tried to explain exactly what Splunk is all about. So basically, what you are doing with Splunk is that you are making sure you are gathering logs. The logs are usually called events on Windows PCs. So you will see them under the event section. I think if you search for logs, does it bring it out? No, it doesn't bring it out. Basically, they are called events. It's under the event viewer. And so what you are doing with Splunk is that you are gathering all of these events and analyzing them. So you don't just want to analyze from one system. You want to make sure you are able to analyze all the systems in the organization. There could be a lot of systems, and it will be very relevant for you to go to each system to fix it up. So we have under the Windows logs here. I'm looking at the security logs. We also have the application logs in here. It's taking some time to load up. I don't know why. But okay, there we go. So everything that you've done with applications, which application is being stored there, everything that has to do with security is being stored in the security section. If you did anything on setup, the logs for setup are being stored here in this particular log. So basically, you can create a custom view and all of that in here. But Splunk helps you to centralize all that in here and take control of everything you have there. So we have the user roles, we have the user tokens, we have those things, we have password management, all those things to determine who can have access or who can manage Splunk at that point. But what we want to focus on in this video is the data input. We want to work with the data right now. I'm not looking at the system settings or the knowledge settings or the environment where we work with the forwarders or the users. We did the users in the last video. We want to look at the data. And here we are going to look at data inputs, forwarding and receiving indexes, and all of those things. First off, you want to input data into Splunk, which is what you'll be working with. So we click on the data inputs, and that brings us to this particular point. Alright, so at this point we have the inputs, and you have so many options there. The first one is the local event log collection. So we are collecting locally from this particular PC. Like I had the event viewer before. So if we are taking locally, we are looking at that particular local PC. And for the remote, is if you're taking it from the remote location, maybe another PC somewhere else. If you just want to look at the files, maybe you got sent a log file, maybe the organization wants you to watch what's going on a particular system or something, you get sent the log file. Yeah, fine. You use that particular one for that situation, the files and directories. And for performance monitoring, you want to make sure the PC is running fine, or you want to make sure the particular person using the PC is not overusing it for some reason or something. You do that. This is for the local, this is for the remote. We are not going to sit down with all of that. There are a lot of them. You can go ahead and check through them. There are all explanations from them under them. So we are going to go straight with what we want to do today, which is the local event log collection. I do not want this video to be too long, so click on the local event log collection. Basically, we want to collect the logs locally. So these are the available logs on my local PC. I want to stick with the security logs and maybe the application logs. I could also take the setup logs, doesn't matter, has a lot of logs. Logs are so many actually. So let me stick with these two for now and click on save. So I'm going to be getting logs from application and logs from security as well. that's basically what you'll be doing in the organization, analyzing the logs. Um, you are going to be making sure that everything is going fine. And you can choose to click on a new event log collection to take another log if you wanted to. But we are not going to do that. We've already had our log in that particular point. So that's under the local, and that's what we have in here. We already have what we want it to be, and let me just submit that through. Okay, so that is great. Of course I can use the back button if I wanted to. I just want to go through this process a little bit. So this is where we have all the logs. I selected the application and security logs. So basically all the application logs and security logs are in here right now. Right now you would notice over here Windows event log application, showing that's the application log. The source type is the application and the host is actually my computer name. So it's very, very straightforward. There's one other thing you should note: the event codes. Event codes actually help you to know what is going on exactly. Sometimes you might not have all of the information put in here, but once you see the event code, just like the error code or something, it tells you exactly what is wrong. Now you might not be able to store these in your mind. You might not be able to keep all of that in your head. So if at all it comes to that, you could come over here and you know check for what the event code means. I think there's a public repository where you have all of those codes already. Look at that. You already have everything that you need about that particular event code. So Microsoft has a bunch of all of them already written out. For now, you can choose to show all the 15 lines and see what is going on. Windows installer install the product, blah 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 blah. It's an application code and all of that. You notice these ones. You notice everything is clickable. We can use that actually to take care of our search. So if you use the start button, that means you are searching through every single event in here. We have 23,636 events. That means you want to see every single one of those events. I'm going to take away that right now. Still loading through. Passing job, passing search. I'm having 0 events actually. Now if you want to narrow down, okay, I have 44,000 right now. It keeps on increasing because every time you do something, it stores it. So I have 44,000 events right now. Basically, you could go ahead and if you want to minimize the events, you want to maybe see only the logs from security, you can click on it and just simply add to search. It makes it quite easy because now you can just add to search basically. Okay, so that is the logs. So all the logs we have here are from security logs. You might want to say, oh, I want logs with maybe coming from a particular host. All you have to do is click on it and add it to the search. And if you want it, you could say at a particular time, you could just click really anything. I'm going to stick with the event code and add to search. You can see that actually helps to narrow it down to this particular one. So I have just 1,000 of them having this particular event code. So if I scroll through, I could see quite a lot of different other ones in there. I want to say, okay, these keywords, I want these ones as part of what I want to work with. So if I add it to the search, I have keywords. I'm going to go ahead and put that in equals audit success and that in the quotes, enter, and we have them in here. The keywords being all of these have the keyword of audit success. So basically, that is how you try to control what happens with your Splunk. And if you wanted to, you could go ahead and put in more things. If you want it so much, you could go ahead and do that. Back into business, I'm not really going to sit on that. I want to I want to perform an event right now, and then just go ahead and use that instead. So if I look at the Windows logs under the setup security, let me do the security event. I'm just going to try wiping everything off with ClearLog. It's still loading up. It's still loading up. Time is going. We need to make it a bit faster. So logs are being cleared. Just cleared. Thank you. So I'm going back in here, and what I want to say now. Oh, it's security logs. Let me stay on security logs. It's actually a good search engine because now it lets you know if something goes wrong or if it's not going quite well. It's going to directly let you know. So this is the security event happening at 11:58 at this particular point. Let me see what is on it. The audit log was cleared. Actually, that's straightforward. And I want this particular one to be added to the search and equals to 1102. Let's see, does that work? Maybe I should have put it in quotes too. So, oh, I have just one event in here. Actually, very good. I have just one event. I could go ahead and save this event if I wanted to. I could save it or something. I could also put it in a table view if I wanted to put it in a table view. Now, when you're putting it in a table view, you want it to look like this so you can easily access it. And then you can remove some fields from it if you wanted to. It's very, very straightforward and simple. But one other thing I like doing is using the dashboard. So remember in the first video we talked about the dashboard. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a new dashboard with it. I'm going to call this logs cleared, and description if you wanted to put that, permissions, whatever permissions you want to use. I want to use the dashboard view video, and I could use this absolute or the grid. Grid is always fine by me. And the panel title, I'll call it clear logs. And if you wanted to do anything advanced, go ahead and put that in. Click save to dashboard, and the dashboard would have been created. It's quite fast, quite straightforward. And if we go back in there right now, we are going to have the view on our dashboard. So it's very, very straightforward. The Splunk, you want to put it on the reason why you want to put it on the dashboard basically is so you can have easy access to it at any point in time. For instance, I'm at the home page right now. I'm going straight to the home page. I have the dashboard here. I've not chosen a home dashboard yet, which is actually good. Let's go ahead and click and create a home dashboard, and I can select one of the dashboards. We have different dashboards that were created with Splunk in here, but I think I remember that one being called clear logs. And I have logs cleared, which is good, and I save, and the logs cleared dashboard becomes my home dashboard in this situation. I could go ahead and change it or remove it or open it directly where it is. Doesn't really matter. Straightforward jobs. We also have the recently viewed created by you and shared with you. So it's very straightforward if you want to use this particular one. So thank you very much. That is about the data side of Splunk. Try to get familiar with the stuff in here. Basically, that's what you'll be doing. You'll be watching the logs, making sure things are fine. Use the search by lot to try to narrow your searches down. Maybe you want to see if anybody installed any malicious app, follow the event code for installation and you definitely find what you are looking for. Thank you. All right, we open this up and we want to show you something, one more thing before I skip that. And over here you have the actions. You can actually download all of this if you wanted to. You can go ahead and download it or edit it and proceed as you want to. So it's very straightforward and easy and very straightforward actually. So thank you very much.